Hi everybody, it's Jen, and let's go to another page of the Curiouser and Curiouser album from Graphic 45, and it's already looking wonderful. It looks elegant, and I love the black and red together, and then these pops of cream. So this is an ASC design team project, so head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy or asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. And let's go to the next page. So to get some page inspiration, I looked back at some pages that I have previously done, and I had one where I had a double pocket tuck here. So I think that's what we're going to do. A double pocket tag. And so first thing I do is measure, and this page measures 7.5. Double check. Yep, 7.5 inches. So you want to divide that by 2. If I can get my ruler back in there. It's 3 3/4. So we're going to cut 2 little pockets at 4 3/4. So we have to, so we can score them. So 4 3/4. And I haven't even broken any new paper yet. I'm still using what I had left over. So these are 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. And we're going to score them at 1/2 inch. Let's see, that helps a little. You guys will have to tell me if you like it better when I have everything cut out or when I cut it out on camera, if it matters. Okay. My bone folder. And we'll do a dry fit before we put them on there. It looks like those are going to fit really well. We're going to do wet glue. If you wanted to mat the back first, maybe we should do that. Let's do that. Let's do gold. It's going to be a small page. And I want the hearts to go this way. And we only need like 1.5 inches. I cut it at 2 inches. Actually, we're going to cut 7 3/8. And then cut 2 inches. Okay. distress ink out here. Alright. I leave about a 1/16 of an inch border. And then we'll put the pockets on. Go up just a little bit more because it kind of dried. And across the bottom. There we go. Now we're good. You want it as close to this bend as you can get it without going over. Because if you go over that crease, you will not be able to open it, or close the page rather. Same here. Okay, and then we can either do each of those individually or one long strip. And let's do one long strip. So that's 2 1/4. We're going to put a 1/8 inch shorter than that. So 2 1/8. I think we'll do red, yellow. I think I have more red. So red, yellow, red, black. I'll double check that. See which I have more of. Glue down all the way. That did not glue down at all. Okay. Okay, so we should put this in there. Okay, let's go to this side. And I want a large flap with a belly band on it. So I'm just going to take this paper I have here. Happens to be 7 1/4 by 4 1/2. And we're just going to use that whole thing and score it at a 1/2 inch. Pull that over. Okay, and that one is going to go right in the middle, and you see how it hangs past this page? Perfectly okay. I like it that way. And we did this stub punch on that one, so I'm going to do it again. And these punches, the We Are Memory Keeper punches, I don't think Crystal has any left, but the ones that I could find, I linked on my Amazon store. So we're just going to add some interest to this page, bulk it up a little bit, give us lots of spots to write, to journal, to put pictures. Okay, and then this piece is like 2 1/2 by 5 1/2, and that's going to be the belly band. So that is not 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. Let me double check my measurements here. Or I grabbed the wrong piece. 2 1/2 by 5 1/2 there. And we'll do a 1/2 inch on either side. Gotta find somewhere else to put my scoreboard. Dry fit it up. That looks like it's going to be good. We'll use wet glue on either side. Okay, so try to put it about halfway. And then we need another piece of yellow. Yellowish. I don't know about, I love this pattern. Let's do this one. I'm gonna cut that too. A little under 4 1/2. 6 3/4. Dry fit, and that slides right under the belly band. It looks good. Stub punch. Distress with love. Because I will be so sick of distressing by the time I get done with this album. love this pattern too. And it's more red than it is yellow. Decisions. We'll stick with the color scheme I got going here. 2.5. That's 4.5. Yes. Lovely. Okay. And then let's use a cream colored tag. And 4 by 6, we're going to cut this to 8 by 6. Score it at 4 inches. And we're going to use the deco punch on this one. It's yellow. I like that one too. I'm going to trim off this side a bit. And do we want it this way or this way? I like it this way. All right. So since we are short on yellow, let's switch it up just on these 2 little pages here, and let's go to black. Okay, so on the back of this guy, I decided I want a flap. So I'll use, and I have this cut apart from the 12 by 12, I think, that I want to make part of the flap. So first I'm going to ink it up and glue it down, and then I'll cut the paper on one side a 1/2 inch bigger. Currently Saturday. I'm waiting for my my new design team package in the mail, but they decided, USPS decided that it needed to go to Indiana before it came to Ohio, which makes no sense, but whatever. So, yeah, I glued that on. I'm going to cut it a 1/2 inch bigger here and then trim up the side. 1/2-ish inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I moved my paper. That stinks. That's okay. My paper moved and it cut into the side. That's okay. We're going to deal with that by trimming this off at the angle. No biggie. Okay. I'll get it all stuck down there, and then you do the fold just like that. This move this over. There we go. And we have 4.5 by 6 3/4. And let's just use a piece of cream paper for that. It's not quite big enough. Step punch 2 sides. And I have not been distressing the cream paper, so I think it would be okay if you did, but I think for this one we're just the cream paper, we're going to leave crisp and clean, kind of a contrast. And then I got this little guy here. And he is going to be 3 7/8 by 4. And he has little things cut out. I really like both of these papers. And for where these are cut out, I'm just going to use the Deco punch. that worked out just fine. And that is our flap. Okay, so now this page, let's do some flaps here. And this is 7.5. Double check. Yep, 7.5. So I'm still just using the cut-offs from when I put everything together. I'm going to cut these two at 7.5, and I think they're 4.5 each. And then we're going to score them on the long side at 1/2 inch. And they'll be new swings or pockets, or not pockets, pages basically. Lots of places to write and put pictures. Lots of interest. If you don't want to put anything in it at all, you don't have to. Back. I'm going to put page up against the back here. And then a page as close to this thing here that you can, as close to the bead as you can without going over, because if you go over, this flap won't flap. Make sure that flap flaps. These two are pretty aligned. You don't want them too misaligned. You will notice, but these seem to be okay. So these should be 4 inches now. And they measure a little less than 4 inches by 7.5. So back to our black paper. Like this one, and then let's use this for the back. I always cut my 7.5 inch first because that's the width of my pages, or the height of my pages. Less than 4. Maybe 3. A little less than 3 7/8. Okay. And then the background piece, I'm going to need more of these. This will be the outside. So we can do cream in here. That's another possibility. And we are measuring from side to side. 5. No. I think we can cut it 5 3/4. We'll do a dry fit regardless. Yeah, that works well. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we'll cream here. Or this cream here. I really like how this is coming out. Make sure these both closed. Yep, we're good. Okay, nice and clean. That is those 2 pages. Now, let's do another red page. Okay, back to this. We're going to leave this page plain, a vertical pocket here, and then a double pocket here. So I went ahead and cut nice strips. This one is 2 inches by 8.5. And we're just going to score at a 1/2 inch on both sides. That is not 8.5. 2 inches by 8.5. There we go. This is probably because this one was 8.5. Yes, it was. Okay, no problem. That is for the small vertical pocket. I'm going to have to cut another piece for the other pocket because that's what that other paper was for. And you don't have to leave any of the pages blank if you want. Like, you could totally make that a pocket. You could add flaps. You could do whatever you want. But every once in a while, I put a plain page in. And you can have the pocket open either way. I like it opening to the outside because you can get things in it and out of it easier. Okay, we'll go ahead and mat these two and then do the double pocket. So this one's 6-ish by 7.5. I'll get my paper out. We're doing red. Let's do in these pages where we didn't really we're not going to put a bunch of flaps or anything, are perfect for, you know, adding tuck spots and stuff if you wanted to. Diagonal pockets with some of the stuff. So like frames that you can tuck stuff into. Like one of these cut aparts here. Let's use that. Actually, I think this was in the ephemera. So this is where we can take and kind of ink up the sides. Figure out which way you want this. I would say it goes that way. And then you just adhere it along the 3 sides. He may have some issues later because he's kind of not stable. But then I can't put a full one in there. Oh, one of the journaling cards that has the journaling on the back. So this one's fine. I'll use this one. Like that. Our plain page turned out not so plain, but that's okay. Okay, so 7.5. This was 2, I think. Yep. So that looks good. And then we just need a 7.5-inch strip for here. You would think I would have some laying around, but I don't. Oh, here. That'll work. Just like, I don't know, an inch, 1.5 inches. glue was driving me nuts. And you tuck that in to there. And then I think what we'll do is put a black tag in there. So I have some that probably would fit 7 inches. You can fold it over if you want, but I'd say that fits very well, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. Use a deco punch on it for something a little different. And then let's look at the stickers. We can put that right there. Works for me. Alrighty. The back page. If this cream cardstock's the right size. If the cream cardstock's the right size, it was meant to be. Okay, let's do this double pocket, and as we had discussed before, I cut my black wrong. So let's cut another piece now. This one is yeah, 9 and an 1/8 by 2 1/2. Okay, 9 1/8 by 2 1/2. Score at a 1/2 inch on both sides. Double check that is way too long. It is 7 3/4. I have no freaking idea where I got that. 7 3/4. So this is going to be cut at 8 3/4. See if this fits. Seven 1/4. Okay. So 8 1/4 by 2 1/2, scored a 1/2 inch on both sides. And these pockets can be as big as you want them. Same with this one, except this one we're going to cut 45-degree triangles out of both corners, like that, so that you can slide it underneath. And you have an option here. You can glue the bottom so you have 2 little pockets, or you can leave it, then you'll have 1 little pocket at the bottom and then 1 deeper pocket. And that's what I'm gonna do. And then if you wanted another pocket, you could go ahead and do the same thing and add that on top. We're going to stick with 2. Okay, and then let's add yeah, let's add the plain red. Double check my dimensions, 7 1/4. Since I did it wrong so many times. And I don't need all that. We can cut. I only need like 3 1/2-ish inches. So there's that. I slide it under there. Okay, and then this pocket needs to be exact. It is 2 1/2 by 7 1/4. Okay, changed my mind about the paper selection a couple times, but I think I have it now. I'm going to distress. This one we only had to distress 3 sides. All sides. And then because I didn't use any of the cream paper on this side, we can use cream tags. This one I just need 2 sides. Can't quite see what I'm doing here. Okay. There, now I can see. I couldn't see how much border I had. Okay, so now we got a big pocket, a smaller pocket. Let's pull some of the big tags out so that we can have a chance to use them. So this one we're going to put here. I like the fact that the cream on red. And then I think that's the only big one I'm going to use. Let's do a small one for here. And again, if I'm not going to mat it, I want one with the back. Oh, how about that one? It's not the same one, right? Okay, good. And this is the Curiouser one. We should be good there. Actually, let's do that one, and we'll mat it. I'm just going to distress this one. And got a little square here. Doesn't have to be a folder. We'll just leave it flat. Go by 1/8 inch border. And cut the excess. Okay, there we go. And I think for now we'll leave it like that. And yeah, that's the next page. So we did a little bit here. Got some stuff done. We have the belly band flap with another flap on the back, our double open flap, a tuck spot here with a blank page, a small vertical pocket, popsicle pocket, blank page for writing or whatever you want, and then a double, or there's really 3 pockets there, so a triple pocket. I think I'll make a big black mat for the back of that, but besides that, I think it's done. We'll do a folder for that. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this video having said that, and this is an ASC Supplies design team project. So head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy, asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. And don't forget to join the Facebook group because it's really inspiring and everybody there is wonderful and very nice. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.